The main purpose of this video is to clear up the allegations that have been going around on Twitter. There is a lady on Twitter who claims that Mr. Jazziq tried to make advancements on her in a lift at the YFM studios. This is, however, untrue. The lady in question in the video is dressed in a white dress, and as you can see upon arrival, she enters the lift first while Mr. Jazziq stays behind to take a picture with a fan. There were 6 other people in the lift, 2 of which were female. Mr. Jazziq only goes into the lift momentarily after taking a picture with his fan, meaning that he was one of the last people to get into the lift. They were only going 1 floor above to the YFM studio, and the lift ride could not have been more than 10 seconds. Once they made it to the floor above, obviously Mr. Jazziq was one of the first people to go out, seeing that he was one of the last people to go into the lift in the floor below. There were no further interactions aside from the introductions that were done, and even in the clip, she's seen walking several steps ahead of Mr. Jazziq at all times. The main purpose of this video is to clear up the allegations that have been going around.
Hi everybody, Sanbonani, welcome to my channel. So you guys, let's talk about this like more serious story. I know we're always laughing over here, but let's talk about something more serious, okay? Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Make sure that you are subscribed, and also don't forget to like the video. There is also a join button if you want to be a member on this channel. Listen, you guys, it's a man's world. You know that statement, it's a man's world? The meaning of that statement is really truly understood by women, because men can never really understand how much the world is a man's world, because they think it's a woman's world. It's actually a man's world. Only women understand it. But this story that I'm going to talk about here, I want to say, you guys, from everything that I've read and the posts on Twitter, the statements, everything, I still don't know what happened. I really honestly don't know what happened. I can't tell you that I know that the accusations that are being made here did happen. And I also can't tell you that they didn't happen. There is not enough evidence to say that it didn't happen. The 2 people, no, the lady that is making the accusation and the person that is being accused. I say only the 2, you guys, because from what I've read, even people that are said to have been inside the lift can't say for sure from what I've read and seen from the footage I saw. Even Robot Boy himself, I'm shocked by how sure he is that this whole thing didn't happen, because I'm like, if I was him, I would be like, listen, when I was inside the lift, I didn't see it. When I was outside the lift, I didn't see it. More than that, I don't know. Unless he had his eyes the whole time on Jazziq and the lady, then he really, even himself, he can't say if it happened or not. So I kind of don't understand why they are saying it as if they are sure, because from what I've seen, I'm not sure, but maybe I'm missing some information. It's even worse for people that were not even there, because as far as I understand, Pops was not there, but I watched a video where he himself said the story that we are talking about here didn't happen. And I'm like, but how do you know? Where is the footage? Because the footage that is out there is showing us something different. So you guys, Jazziq and Robot Boy, according to what I understand from what I've read, they were at YFM to do an interview, and they were at 1 floor of the building. They were about to get inside a lift to go 1 floor up so that they could go do the interview at the YFM studios. So while they're waiting around, there was a producer of YFM who now YFM is saying she's a freelancer. They don't want to be attached to her because, like I said, it is a man's world, you guys, okay? And when you're a woman, you are on your own. So I don't know if the purpose was for her to escort them to where they were supposed to do the interview, or it was just a matter of them being at 1 floor waiting for the lift, and she came and she was also going to the same studios. So while they are there, this is according to the video that I will post here. This is what I'm saying, because I watched the video without my glasses. I wore my glasses. I took them out. I wore my sunglasses, and then I took them out, and then I wore my glasses again, because I just wanted to be sure that what I'm talking about here is what I saw on that footage, okay? The footage that I'm saying, you guys, the lady gets inside the lift before Jazziq and before Robot Boy, okay? Now, Robert Boy is taking pictures with what looks like a fan. To me, it looks like a child, okay? And maybe I would say 12, 13 years old, they're taking pictures and whatever. The lady is already inside a lift. After that, Jazziq gets inside a lift. Now, Robert Boy attempts to go inside the lift, but then realizes the fan is also looking to take pictures with him as well. So he starts taking pictures with the very same child that had been taking pictures with Jazziq. So there is a time where Robot Boy is left behind outside of a lift, taking a picture, whether it was a second or two, a minute or longer. The footage is showing it. He just stood there, they took a picture, then he followed Jazziq inside the lift. So for sure there was, whether it was seconds or minutes or whatever, there was a short period where Jazziq was inside a lift with a lady and Robert Boy was not there. That's why for me, I'm saying, how is he sure that it never happened? Because there was a time where his eyes was not, his eyes were not on Jazziq and they were not on the lady, but he's sure that it didn't happen. Now, you guys, afterwards, he gets inside the lift, and then the next we see is them getting out of the lift. The lady is walking in front of them, and they all got out of the lift. The reports are saying that there were more people inside the lift, but from the footage, we don't say it. It looks like the lift is empty, but they are saying there were 6 more people in there, and 2 of those people were women. Now, I'm trying to figure out if the 2 women that they are talking about is the lady that has made the accusations and the one that looks like a 12-year-old. Are they counting those 2 people to say 2 of them were women? Okay. Or besides the lady and this young girl, there were other 2 women. Okay. Now, I was looking on the internet to see if any of those people that are said to have been inside a lift at the time have said anything, but I haven't seen it, you guys. Maybe it's out there. When I find it, I'll come back here and I talk about it. Now, you guys, the accusations were made, and I'm reading the statement. Maybe you can go and find it on the X account called The Journalist DJ. Now, the statement is so long, it looks like one of those case studies you get in an exam where a lecturer is trying to confuse you. And then by the time you get to the questions, you are so confused that even when the question is the easiest question, you are not able to answer it because the lecturer just confused you with this 3-page case study. That's why I always go to the question before I read the case study. Because some of the questions under a case study, you can answer them without a case study. So now, you guys, the statement is so long that you get confused reading the statement. Now, here's an interesting thing about the statement. Before Jazziq responded to what was said to be the accusations, he requested, or his team requested, footage from YFM. Listen, you guys, if you tell me, Gutintando, yesterday you were drinking beer, I'm going to tell you right now, I did not drink beer. But if you insist that I drank beer and you go and open a case against me drinking the beer, then maybe I might just go and request footage, because I'm like, obviously you don't believe that I didn't drink beer. So let me go get the footage. When you accuse me of drinking beer, I'm not going to be like, hey, wait a minute, let me request footage. Because then it sounds like I'm like, yo, I was drinking yesterday, so I'm not sure if I drank the beer. Hey, so before I respond, let me just get the footage so that I can be sure that I did not drink beer because I was drunk last night. Okay, kind of a situation. So for me, I'm surprised by the fact that they requested the footage before they actually responded, because it almost sounds like he wanted to make sure that his response, corresponds with whatever is on the footage. Let me not say something that will be different from what happened according to the footage. Another interesting thing about the footage is that they have cameras at YFM on at the passage and outside of the lift, but they don't have cameras inside the lift, which is like, what the hell is the point of that? Because cameras are supposed to be put on there for security purposes, and they're supposed to be in areas where security is of concern, and a lift is one of those places. If you are a woman in South Africa, a lift, the bathroom, inside a taxi, outside a taxi, at the mall. In fact, every place in South Africa is a place of concern when it comes to safety and women in South Africa. So it is interesting that at YFM, they have cameras on the passages, but they don't have cameras inside of the lifts. Isn't that interesting? Okay. So the footage comes and it's what you guys we saw. So eventually they did get in the lift. Robot boy gets in the lift. They go one floor up. They go out. The lady looks like she's walking in front of them. Goes and then they go about their day. Now, you guys, here is the thing. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know if this woman is lying because women have lied. Okay. And I don't know if Jazziq really did this and he just saw that the footage would be able to support him denying this. And so he did that. I don't know. But here's the thing that I can tell you, a lot of things can happen to a woman inside a lift, even with people like with the lift in full capacity. A lot of things can happen inside a lift. Okay. And a lot of women know that. Okay. That's why a lot of us, when we get inside the lift, we look around, we look who's inside the lift, we look, and also we look at how full it is. Sometimes we let the lift go because we know what can happen. Because we also know that if something happens to you when you're inside a lift, the very same thing that is happening to this woman, where people are like, there were 6 other people, how come they didn't say it, will happen to you? You know very, very well. But a lot of us know for a fact that a lot of things can happen to you inside a lift while people are in them. Now, you guys, here is a statement. It says it came to our attention that an ex, formerly known as Twitter post published just over a week ago, alleged that Utumelo Banyoni, known professionally as Mr. Jazziq, sexually harassed and forcefully tried to kiss a YFM time show producer Miss Ngebo on Thursday, the 23rd of May 2024. The incident allegedly took place inside the offices of the popular Johannesburg-based radio station just moments before his scheduled interview on the platform. In the tweet, Ms. Mqoboti, hey guys, it's difficult to pronounce, okay? It's Mqoboti. Okay, claims that Mr. Jazziq sexually harassed her after she rejected his advances. She further alleges that he forcefully tried to case her inside the lift. Okay, upon seeing news of the alleged AS on the social media platform, Mr. Jazziq and his team promptly contacted YFM manager and requested the CCTV footage of the alleged incident. The basis for this request was for Mr. Jazziq to offer a detailed response for the damaging allegations by providing irrefutable evidence that they have no basis in truth or facts. Understanding the socio-economic climate in South Africa in relation to the question of gender-based violence, he recognized the significance of having evidence to challenge the baseless accusation in a way that would remove all reasonable doubt as his alleged action. Listen, you guys, that's the explanation. Remember, I said for me, I'm questioning why, if you are being accused of something, before you respond, you want the footage. They are saying they wanted to be able to give details and so to remove any doubts, any reasonable doubts. Listen, I had doubts before I found out that he had when he requested the footage. Now I have reasonable doubts after I found out when he actually requested the footage. So I guess maybe for some people it worked, but for me it was like, okay. 4 days after the footage was initially requested, YFM responded stating that the said lift has no cameras. Okay. Okay. In addition to this, the station has also distanced itself from Mr. Mqombothi allegation, stating that she is a freelancer and that the station does not support any of the claims she has made on social media. The response by YFM left Mr. Jazziq with no option but to utilize the other available evidence at his disposal. Recognizing the limitations it poses, it does not capture what transpired inside a lift. However, this evidence provides adequate circumstantial evidence to help us arrive at a reasonable conclusion. The video evidence provided by Mr. Jazziq's videographer, and which has since been published, shows Ms. Mqombothi entering the building. Now, this is what I'm wondering. The video evidence provided by Mr. Jazziq's videographer. Okay. which has since been published, shows Mr. Mkomboti entering the building and the lift along with Mr. Jazziq, his team, and another famous artist joining him for the interview. Mr. Jazziq is seen taking pictures with a fan after Mr. Mkomboti entered the lift ahead of him with several other people in tow. Seconds later, the entourage is seen exiting the lift with Mr. Jazziq and his PR manager walking behind Mr. Mkomboti, who is leading them into the studio. 3 points are important to note. Okay, you guys, please note these points. Firstly, at no point was Mr. Jazziq alone with Mr. Mkomboti in the lift. I can't really tell you guys. I feel like I can't tell. Okay, what I can't tell is when she entered the lift, there were people there. But I can tell that after she entered the lift, there were people that also entered the lift after her. And Jazziq was one of the people that entered the lift after her. What the arrangements in the lift were, I don't know what where the positions of people were in the lift, I don't know. The second is that Mr. Jazziq and Miss Mkomboti were never in close proximity as she entered the lift before him. Him being the last to enter means that he was closer to the elevator door with not guys. Like when people were explaining this, I was like, hey, boy, in IQ your country yet to your uncle is in question at this point because when you enter a lift, guys, you don't stand in sequence to which you enter the it's not like you stand like this in a queue. You remember in primary school when you used to stand in queues. It's not like when you enter a lift, it's like the first person that enters stands here and then the other one, then the next one, then the next one. So Jazziq was the fifth person. So he would have been here and it would have been hard for him to get to this person. No. When you enter a lift, the other one goes to the corner because they're trying to make sure they are not touched or harassed by anybody inside the lift and they want to get out of the lift as fast as possible. And then the other one will be here and then the other one will be here, 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 here. People will be scattered. It's not like they're in a queue. So if you enter the lift first, last, it doesn't mean that you are not able. It depends how big the lift is. It doesn't mean that if you enter the lift as a fifth person, then everybody that enter the lift before you, they are behind. It doesn't necessarily mean that. You can actually enter the lift and you see what people are standing here and then you just move to the back because there are other people following you. That one I didn't understand. Finally, the lift was traveling just one floor up, a distance that took a few seconds at best. Obviously, I can't confirm that, you guys, from the footage, okay? Because footage can be edited. Was it really like a few seconds before they got there? I don't know. I just know that now there's a whole lot of people that are getting out of the lift. Did it stop somewhere else? They're saying no, it was just one floor. Okay. Finally, the lift was traveling just one floor up, a distance that took a few seconds at best. For Mr. Mkomboti's allegation to be true, Mr. Jazziq would have needed to enter the lift way through 5 people. They are acting like a lift is like a jungle forest, you know? Like you enter a lift and you like go under the trees and you climb the trees before you get to the woman. They're sounding like that. Like, you know, entering a lift and going to the back is like that, you know? It's like crossing the Nile River, you know, entering a lift and going to somebody that entered the lift first is like, you know, you have to cross the Nile River before you get there. You need Moses and his stick to do it the way that they are sounding. So for Miss Mkomboti's allegations to be true, Mr. Jazziq would have needed to enter a lift, wade through other people, position himself next to her, which we have seen happen. Like I say, you guys, listen. If you are a woman, and when I'm saying we know what can happen inside the lift, and as a woman, you're saying, no, I don't know, consider yourself very lucky. Okay. Consider yourself very, very lucky. Okay. And it says he would have had to wade through 5 people, position himself next to her, attempt to AS her in full view of the other people. Like the other people just, when Jazziq entered the lift, they just decided to not concentrate on where they were going because everybody enters the lift and looks at the door. That's what you do. You look at the numbers, you look at the door. When am I getting out of here without getting killed? Because this is South Africa, okay? Anything can happen. That's what we do inside lifts. We're like, Lord Jesus, okay? I hope this is not my day. This is not my day. This is not my day. And then the lift opens and then you go out. You don't be looking like this. They're acting like when you get inside the lift, you're like, hey, hands. Where are your hands? Nobody's kissing. Okay, what's happening here? No, you mind your business. But, okay, you know? And then they're saying he would have attempted to AS her in full view of the other people in the lift and then out of the lift in barely 10 seconds, okay? Because, of course, you guys, like, harassing anybody needs at least like 10 hours. I mean, you can't do it in 10 seconds. I mean, guys, you can't. That would have been absolutely impossible. A kiss in 10 seconds, attempted kiss at that, it can never happen in 10 seconds. No, okay? This is both improbable and illogical. Remember, guys, I've read all of this in the statement and I haven't even got to a point where they are saying he did not do it. I did say this sounds like a case study, especially as it would have required all of the persons in the lift, including a woman, would be complicit in what can only be described as atrocious actions. How will they be if they don't say it? But the logic here in this statement is that everybody that is in the lift, if you're in the lift with a number of people, you can see everything that everybody is doing because you can see their mouths and you can confirm that they are not attempting to kiss anybody. You can see everybody's hands to see that they are not attempting to touch anybody. That's the logic in this statement, okay? This is both improbable and illogical, especially as it would require that all persons in the lift, including women, okay, I'm still wondering, you guys, okay, maybe I'll go and watch again which woman, because I saw her and I saw the lady that was taking a picture, can only be described as okay, Mr. Jazziq is many things, a young man who, like any young man at his age, parties. What an irrelevant question. Parties, get involved in romantic relationships, with women. I don't know how that is relevant. Okay. What he is not is a perpetrator of violence of any form against women. It is not an incident. So finally, they tell us what they're trying to say is that he did not do it. It's not an incident of history that he has ever before been accused of any form of sexual misconduct. A full story is in the website. Listen, you guys. I feel like for me, Robert Boy, even though I understand his defense of a friend, I feel like he sounds like he is sure, like he can account for every single second. And I feel like from the story he's telling, he cannot account. And also from the footage, he cannot account because there was a moment when he wasn't there. So I'm not feeling like Robert Boy has any bad intention in saying this did not happen. I feel like he really believes that it didn't happen. But I really feel like he's not thinking of it in a fuller picture, And also him not being a woman because he does not know and he hasn't had experiences when things like that happen to you in spaces like that when there's many, many people, but nobody sees it. It does happen, you guys. I don't know if this thing happened, you guys, but I'm just saying that the reasons that they are giving to say that it did not happen, for me so far, it's like I have to act dumb for me to believe that those reasons make sense. Now, you guys, there was one report that was posted online where they were saying a woman had taken lie detector test and she had failed. Okay. And if you are somebody that believes in lie detector tests, I guess that would mean that maybe the woman lie. I don't know how legit that is, you guys. So, yes, here is a story. When I say that it's a man's world, you guys, it absolutely is. And men will never know how much it is a man's world because they will never experience a man's world. Only women experience it. Some things we just let go and we don't explain them. Some things we don't even report them because we have to report them to men who will never ever going to get it. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video. Please make sure that you go into the comment section and tell me what you think about it, about this. And once again, you guys, I don't know if it happened. I don't know if a woman is lying. I don't know if this Jazziq did it. But what I know is that from the footage, I did not see it. But it is interesting that YFM does not have cameras inside that one particular lift. Thank you so much. Nginethanda kakhulu.